There we go. Coming up on Verse Course Verse. 2024. We're going to have a chat. Okay? I don't know. Some band needs to come along and fucking save us this year. That's all I'm going to say. That's next.
What about Kanye?
Welcome to Verse Course Verse, episode 196. I am DL. You know me. With me, I almost said as always, but that would simply not be true, is Evil, never high and rarely on fire, Jimmy. Evil, how are you?
Good. What do you mean I'm never those and always, huh? What?
Rarely.
I don't know the last time I've seen you high. Wait, does
Or
being
on
drunk
fire.
count?
Sometimes I'm on fire.
I haven't seen you on fire for like a decade.
It's probably
But that
true.
was fun. Also with us is Rachel, tortured poet. Really? Polio.
David.
Rachel, how you doing?
I'm doing so good. I had my first day of
Are
physical
you?
therapy. My arms, I could practically volleyball again.
I don't believe
I'm
you.
ready to go.
I don't believe you either, but I like the spirit. I like the spunk. That's what she said. Hey everybody.
Ew. Gross.
Quickfire
Spunky
Reviews. It's our
Brewster.
favorite episodes, and I'm starting to question why, because my God, what the fuck is up with 2024? I'm not hiding it at all. Guys,
Yeah.
I am unimpressed. I am so unimpressed this year. Who's with me?
Yeah.
Yes. I was not impressed.
There could be some better albums this Q.
It's a resounding disappointing.
Here's the
What
disappointing part. Spoiler alert to the rest of the fucking episode.
Yeah.
Is it's not like they're all terrible. They're
There's
just
so much potential.
There's a lot of
Meh.
meh.
it's just
Yes.
meh. Yeah.
I think that all of our takes are going to be very, very similar.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly where my takes are coming from. There is a problem that I feel like we have now, and maybe it's just because we've been soaked in 94 and we've been studying these albums like Super Unknown, where just the heart is poured into, and these albums are clearly just somebody going in the studio trying to make whatever they can.
Yeah.
Soaked in 94. Like a young Mormon couple with their buddy jumping
I
on the
knew
bed.
it. I knew it. I knew that was coming.
Like a young Mormon couple, like a 28-year-old Utah Mormon woman stealing some poor Kentuckian basketball kid.
You're obsessed with this. I love it.
That story is how did that kid end up on the Utah Jazz? You're telling me that wasn't? Come on, there's something going on there. It's insane.
DJ Jazzy Jack.
This is going to be a fun episode because I kind of feel like Rachel's going to get the shit scared out of her.
Sorry.
How those shoulders muscles doing?
It's okay.
You just tensed up.
I just got scared. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Quick fire. For those of you that don't listen, go back and listen to a different episode or maybe skip to the next one. We pick 10 new albums.
This isn't for you. Move on.
No,
Yeah.
we give it 6 minutes and we talk about it. I don't know if some of these are going to make 6 minutes. Actually, you know
Nope.
what they are, because I am going to be in full on fucking rant mode tonight. I'm in very much I don't give a fuck mode now, and there are a couple bands on here that people are not going to like that about, and I don't care. Let's get to the most important part of the night. What are we drinking? I'm going to start because I think I might be the least exciting. I was in a rush to get home. As of now, I'm on night 1 of a 9-day vacation.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Party at your place.
Yeah, you were.
exactly. I've got a daughter soccer tournament to go to all weekend. Might just sneak a little bourbon in the coffee. And I'm going to make, and I'm staycationing. I'm just going to yard work for like a week. It's going to be,
Your
Dude,
yard's
those are
gonna
the
be
best.
so nice.
and isn't it the best though?
Yeah.
Staycation. I live for staycations.
Yeah. 4th of July, breaking out the kiddie pool, working on the slip and slide. I mean, this week is going to be fucking epic. I'm very excited. I'll be thinking about you, Rachel, while you're doing very, very shitty physical therapy. That
Yeah,
sucks.
it'll be okay.
I am drinking a bourbon renewal. I grabbed these from the store because I knew I wasn't going to have time to make anything, but I still like them. It's the only like cocktail in a can that I actually like. You taste bourbon. It tastes like
Nice.
bourbon. And it's the ones that I drank a lot last year, the year before. It's the Jeffrey Morgenthaler does them with Ninkasi Brewing.
He knows his thing or two about cocktails.
He's a damn good bartender. Get that money, dude. Get that money. Good for you. Evil, going to you next. What do you have on this fine Friday night?
Well, since we're recording this the weekend before the 4th of July, I am celebrating with one of my favorites. It's Michter's American Whiskey. I've got my Stars and Stripes Van Halen shirt on. No sleeves, of course. And my Apollo Creed shorty shorts.
They're good shorts.
Yeah.
Instagram as of about 3 minutes ago will see exactly what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
yes. 4th of July. Speaking of the 4th, you guys want to talk about what the fuck we witnessed last night? That would be... My
so
God, this
Amazing.
country, a proud people we are right now. The debate was last night. And might be the first time in like a decade that I feel like people on both sides are pretty unified in just fucking hating everything. So
I love the chaos.
Oh,
I love it
James.
so much.
it's good times. Rachel,
yeah.
I saved you for last because I'm excited.
Yay. I made myself 10 shots.
Shots.
Just 10 shots.
You made yourself.
And I did.
How many of them have Percocet in them?
The gentleman, just one. The gentleman was not home from work when I put these together. But also, I have the worst memory in the entire world. So it works out fine.
You already
there's-
forgot what's in them.
Yeah. There's 10 cups, 3 are soda, 7 are straight up liquor.
Straight
Wow.
up liquor.
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
Yeah.
I want to see if you have the will, if you know about it beforehand, if you can hide your liquor face. So Evil and I
interesting.
will guess
Okay.
if the shot you just took was liquor or not.
This is going to be
Okay.
so easy.
This is going to be so
It
fucking
is.
easy.
Watch your shoulder twitch.
Yeah. If you lose, you got to take a shot.
Deal.
That is 10 albums, 10 reviews, Quickfire. They are all I think they're all from this quarter this time. I think we did it. I don't know.
Probably.
It's okay. Fuck you, Riverside. All right. 10 albums, 10 reviews. We're going to make it quick. I got some
That's what she
shit
said.
to get off my back. That's also what she said. We'll take a break together.
I see your face, it always makes me smile. So I stare a little while. Let me squeeze you tight, hold you through the night. Damn, it feels so right. Oh,
10 albums, everybody. The first thing we got to do as a big old happy family is we got to pick which album each person's favorite is. I am going to start with Rachel. Rachel, what did Evil pick? What did I pick?
These were all bad. So this was a hard one. I picked The Iceman Cometh for Jimmy. And
What?
what was the name of that album?
That's what she said.
Cometh
Sorry.
the storm.
I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The
That one.
Iceman cometh.
Yeah, that's the one. And then David, I said elbows.
Singular.
No, both of them.
Evil, what about you? What did you pick for Rachel and I?
Normally, I would have picked Taylor Swift for Rachel, but that's a fucking
me.
lot of Taylor Swift to deal with. So I'm,
She's a whole lot of woman, Evil.
I guess. So I'm gonna say Maggie, maybe
Got it.
Kenny's
That's
niece.
a guess.
And for you, I'm saying Saint Vincent
Probably.
for you.
Saint Vincent,
Vincent.
the woman that is sitting behind
Yep.
me right now, which makes it
Oh,
a
that's-
good guess.
That's a good guess.
I picked for Rachel. I did pick Taylor Swift because I don't think any of these are that great, but she will always go with, she's part of the cult. And I feel like this same fucking thing happened with Midnight's, where she was very meh and didn't really like it, and then it ended up being her album of the year. So I'm just calling it right now. We have Rachel's album of the year. It's the Dead Poets Society. Hooray. And then Evil is High on Fire. So
I mean,
it's
come
very...
on.
Very unoriginal, but it is what it is. Those are our favorites.
Yeah.
Now we got to pick which album will get the highest score. I will go ahead and go first since I didn't get to on the last one. Very sorry, but sad. Am I sorry? Am I sad? I'm both. I'm sorry and sad.
Sorry.
I said that the highest score would be Saint Vincent. That is my pick. Evil, what about you?
I agree. I think it will be St. Vincent.
Evil agrees. Rachel, what do you... Rachel is in the middle of... she's not going to change her vote.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Elbow.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I like it so much.
I have reasons.
Let's pick lowest score. Rachel, right back to you.
You know, this is a piece of art, but I think that you guys aren't going to like it, so I'm going to say Kanye.
If there ever was art, this is certainly it. He is a genius.
Ty Dolla $ign.
Right.
Or or that other
Collateral
one.
damage.
Ty Dollar Kanye.
Yeah. Evil, same question. Which one's going to get the lowest score?
I feel like that's probably the answer.
Well, I have a good feeling about this one because we all said Kanye West. I think that maybe we are all doing well. All right. 6 minutes for each album. The first album, we're going to kick it off right now. Don't Forget Me by Maggie Rogers. Sorry, Maggie. I've already forgotten about 96% of this album.
Yeah.
This album was released in April of this year. It is through Capitol. It was recorded in Electric Lady Studios in New York City. This is her, what is it? Third album in... She came out with one 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess the first rant begins now. It's very... no, you know what? I'll start with the positive. It is very refreshing, and I feel like I haven't been getting it a lot this year to have consistent albums that sound cohesive. Like it was one producer, one person working together. We're good. I hear a ton of really good influences. Fleetwood Mac, The Police, cool stuff. I love the guitar work on this album. It's a cop-out to say when we say it all the time, but it's better than most stuff that comes out nowadays.
Yeah.
That said, this is so super generic. This is so fucking generic. This is so softcore. This is the fucking Marvel movies of albums. It is disappointingly boring for me. For like her coming in the way she did with that infamous Pharrell video talking about how she's got it. This is it. And she's coming out with this. There is not one song that stuck out to me. I have a favorite. I'm not going to stand by it. I couldn't even probably tell you how it went right now if I had to think about it. And there's also a couple songs on here that, look, if you're a singer-songwriter that isn't doing fucking Dylan lyrics, you better have a good voice. And songs like On and On and On, she is not killing it in the vocal department. It is not good.
Yeah.
I was left very unimpressed by this, which bums me out because I really like Maggie Rogers. Evil, what about you?
I think she's capable of better efforts than this. It feels very homogenized. It's like a pared down version of what she's capable of.
Yeah.
It's easy to listen to. Like it's like when it's playing, I'm like, oh, I don't mind this, but then just instantly gone. It's like my appetite after, I eat a bunch of Chinese food and I'm so full. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, where's the steak? That's what it feels like.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Spot on.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's ephemeral. It's just gone.
But there's a part of it that's more offensive to me. It's like, dude, you are
agree.
Get in the fucking studio and work. Rachel, what do you think of Maggie Rogers?
I feel like if I went on Temu and ordered Sarah Bareilles, this is what they would send me. It is such a watered down version of this woman's talent.
Yep.
Yeah.
That it was kind of disappointing. And like, David, exactly what you said, like, I'm going to tell you what my favorite song is, but ask me to sing a bar from it. And I could not.
Exactly.
Because I wrote it down and I've completely forgotten about it. I remembered, there was some really good piano work in it and there was some good lyrical work in it. But outside that, I couldn't pinpoint or tell you the name of a song. It's just very, very forgettable and not in a great way. It's background music, but not in a good way.
I could not agree more.
I lost the friendship test
You
today.
did.
Of now was then. There's songs that are really good, but it's very obvious. Pull at the heartstrings. That song has been written. That song is written 3 times a year to be a pop radio song.
Yeah.
You know?
It's almost like it's Muzak.
Yes, it's Muzak. It's famous Muzak.
Yeah.
We have like a minute left, but if we don't have
God.
anything, we don't have anything. Do you guys have anything
I did
else?
see one reviewer, they're like, maybe it's a grower instead of a shower. And then their tagline was, there's no insta-bangers. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that term. There's no insta-bangers.
Yeah.
Maybe if you listen to it over and over again, there's something there, but I don't. Okay. Number 1, I think it's the shortest album of the group.
It's like 35 minutes
So-
long. Yeah. Super
Yeah.
short.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate you wasted my time the least of these albums.
Yeah, it's hard because I do like Maggie, and this is the type of artist I'd root for. It's a fucking singer-songwriter ready to go, but get in the fucking get in the fucking studio and work for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Get in the game.
yes. I think I said the best song. Yeah, the best song is If Now Was Then, but like I said, she didn't write the song. Like, everybody behind her wrote this. And I gave it no thumbs. I don't care. Evil, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't feel like investing in this stock. This is not going to be a part of my portfolio. The Kill, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's probably
I
a
think
really
it's
good
single.
song.
I found a live performance of it, and so I'm like, I guess that's my favorite song.
I bet she's great live. I bet she's outstanding.
I'm giving it 3/4 of a thumb.
Oh.
And honestly, 0.5 of that is because it was the shortest waste of time of this whole fucking bunch of albums.
That's a really good point.
Backhanded thumb. Okay. Rachel, favorite song and thumbs?
Also, I forgot to drink.
No, you didn't. You can do it at the end of each one.
Okay.
Right after. Give your thumbs and song and then take a
She
shot.
forgot the music, so
Yep.
hey, we're all.
Forgot to drink. I said I Still Do. It had some really moving piano work on it.
I like it.
And as far as thumbs, since we are in the decimal points, I'm going to say 1/2 of 1 thumb because I feel like the talent's there. I feel like it just needed to be turned up like 8 or 9 notches. Let's drink.
Or more.
Ready?
Okay.
Is it alcohol? Is it not
Born
alcohol? Who knows? Let's use the hand that works. How about that? So I could just shoot
This
it.
isn't fair because I have such a fuzzy picture of you. It's alcohol. Alcohol. I'm saying alcohol. She's working on her acting
James?
chops.
Jimmy's frozen.
No, he's not. He's
I'm
thinking.
thinking.
Oh,
Alcohol.
it was alcohol. It was Smirnoff whipped cream vodka. It was actually good,
that's not-
so it was easy to hide.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah.
was mostly sugar.
What a cheater.
But it still burned.
We got 3/4 of a thumb and 1/2 of a thumb. Oh man, now I got to do math. All right, let's bring it to number
1.25.
Thanks, Rach. Let's go to the second album of the night. We've got All Born Screaming by Saint Vincent. Evil, take it away.
All Born Screaming. It's their 7th studio album by St. Vincent, aka Annie Clark.
God, is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Man.
Released in April 26th of this year. I feel like it's the most interesting album of the bunch. Okay, sight unseen. I listened to everything once, and I'm like, I fucking hate all of this. I like had a visceral
Fair.
reaction. Then I went back and re-listened to everything. Some things I just skipped through. This is one where I'm like, oh, this deserved a second and a third and a fourth listen, and it grew on me. I think I was just in a mood the first time I listened to it.
Well, most of the
'Cause
stuff does
I was
suck.
immediately going to write it off. What's that?
Most of this stuff does suck, so it's hard to weed out the.
Yeah.
It is.
This does not suck. This is interesting. It's creative. It pulled me in. I'm a fan of St. Vincent as an artist, so I'm glad I allowed myself to like have more time with this. I miss creativity. I miss people doing their own thing and actually trying to make art.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is actually happening here. Not so much with many of the other albums that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I listened to all of these albums a lot because when I realized the take that I was going to have coming in, it's one of those, like, if you're going to be negative, you need to do your fucking homework.
Right.
Like, so I listened a lot. Like, there's got to be some good. And so people, when I'm giving you the opinions I'm giving you, it's not, I didn't like one time this shit. Like with the exception
It's
of
well
fucking
educated.
Kanye and one other one, I actually like listen to these a lot.
For me, I'm like early evil on this. And not that I didn't like it. It's that it is the musical version of a paragraph in a textbook that you're reading over and over and over again and cannot understand. I listened to this album multiple times and was like, what's happening? Like, it's not bad, but I just don't understand it. And I need to listen to it probably 3 or 4 more times to fully grasp, because I only got through it twice.
It's so quirky.
It is. Are either of you St. Vincent fans? Like, do either of you know St.
Yes.
Vincent?
See, and I don't know that much
Yeah.
either. So that doesn't help.
So I love St. Vincent. I've loved her since, I don't know when I found her, when her album with basically where she's bent over on the cover came out. That album's fucking amazing. She came out with an album that we reviewed 2 years ago, I think.
Yes.
That I didn't like it. I think this is
I remember that.
fucking way better. I think she's back to being her kind of dirty guitar self. It's all synth laden. It's which right up my alley, but she has a fucking dirty guitar that I love so much.
I agree so much.
Yeah. Most of the albums didn't work for me just listening to them or passively. This one worked for both for me. I could turn this on and work and just be like grooving in the background, or I did turn it on at home and I was into it too. There's a lot of chill, like songs like So Many Planets and the Power's Out. They're chill, but they're interesting. There's a lot going on in the background.
So that was something that I did really appreciate this, is because it did feel a little bit like background music to me, but there was a very definitive beginning and ending to each song. They didn't blend into each other.
Yes.
They felt different, and there was a
Yes.
lot of diversity within the album.
I think this is very LA, which that's her. She's a very LA artist.
Also, she produced this by herself.
Yes, that's the other thing too. She
Right.
does this shit on her
Yeah.
own, and I love that. Minimal. It isn't perfect. I don't think this is perfect. I do get bored in this album, and there are parts, because she's so artsy, it gets self-indulgent at times, and it's like I can skip past this. Also, unfortunately for me, the best song on it is a complete ripoff of another artist's song, which I'll get to when I get to best song.
Because it's your favorite.
But yeah, I love St. Vincent. I love her vibe. I love St. Vincent's ness, whatever. And this grew on me. This album grew on me a lot. Really cool 80s, like Kate Bush. There's a little bit of a Muse feel on a couple of these songs.
Yes. I
Right?
agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It's quirky. Like, there's the melodic lines are really quirky. And like Rachel said, every track's kind of got its own thing. You can kind of, they're self-contained ideas, even though they can be indulgent. There's like room to breathe in the tracks too, which is, I think, part of what I kept going back for. It kept pulling me back in. Like, there's something there. I need to listen a little more deeply.
There's always some weird background lyrical thing or some odd guitar thing going on in the back.
I dig it. I like the quirkiness of it. It's a deeper well than most everything else here.
Very much agree. Evil, what's your favorite song and how many thumbs are you giving this bad boy?
Broken Man. I highly recommend watching it live. That's a fucking great performance on one of the late night shows. I think Kimmel.
Probably Kimmel. Probably.
Was Dave there?
Was Dave.
Grohl.
Dave Grohl did the drums.
He did the drums on it.
He didn't play with her. No. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's very good.
Makes it even better, right?
They didn't feel like Dave Grohl drums.
Nope. But that's Dave Grohl. When Dave Grohl drums, he drums for the song, man.
Sure.
I'm giving it a full thumb up. Full thumb.
One thumb up.
One full
Got
thumb. Not going to see much of that.
Rachel, best song and thumbs.
That's so many thumbs. I said Hell Is Near. I liked the opener. Was
I like it.
Hit it for me. I gave it 1.25 thumbs. So a little bit more than Evil.
Whoa.
And I don't understand it, but I know that it was good. Does that make sense?
It does. Even though it is to me, it is a complete copy of Only by Nine Inch Nails. I said Broken Man. It's a fucking amazing song. I very much dig it. I gave it 2 thumbs. I think that part of this is because when you are in a bar around a bunch of uggos and you're a 7, you're going to look like a 10. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But it's good. It's a good album. Wow. And I fucking love St. Vincent. God, I love St. Vincent. I'm glad that she's back to rocking. That's what I like that.
Ooh, alcohol.
That's alcohol. She doesn't know.
Soda.
It was Malibu.
That's basically soda.
Next up, guys. Number 3.
Yes.
Should I read this like a white guy? Why? $, Kanye, and Ty Dolla. Vultures 1. I also left a nice little note in here for everybody that if you don't want to review it, you don't fucking have to. Because honestly, like, look, there are good people and bad people and free speech and all that. But, you know, you can't just say whatever the fuck you want. Like, he's said heinous shit. He really has. So
it's art.
I mean, it's...
Yeah.
It's not.
Marcel Duchamp taught me that if you say it's art, it is. And you can't argue with that.
Kanye probably said that at some point too.
Yeah, he probably said
Rachel,
he was the first one to say it too.
Ty Dolla Sign, Kanye, hanging out. Vultures 1. This was released on the 10th of February, 2024. And the world of our rap has not been the same since.
It changed everything.
This was mostly produced by Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly produced by Kanye alongside a handful of other people. Swizz Beats. Other people. Timbaland. This has done very well on the charts.
That's not a surprise.
And that disturbs me just a little bit. This has hit number 1 in almost... There are 3 countries on my list where this has not hit number 1 or number 2. Or 3, actually.
Wow.
Italy Italy put it at 5. But there are, I think, 12 number 1 countries, including U.S. Billboard 200, Billboard Independent in the U.S., and top R&B and hip hop albums. Number one.
People love
People
Kanye.
are listening to this.
No matter what.
So if we take out all the racism of this album, this is not good. Still, this, I know we are judging Kanye on a mentally ill scale these days, but I feel like we all just love early Kanye so much and nothing will ever compare. And so we're still putting everything that he puts out up against that. And everything up against College Dropout early stuff is just pure garbage. The rapping in this is not good. The lyrics are either anti-Semitic or just poorly written.
Yep. Very poorly written.
It's not well produced. It's not thoughtful in the lyrics outside of just being poorly written. There's bad. There's bad. Who wants to talk next, David?
This is bad. You're right. We are getting to the point where it's getting so bad that at times it will make me question the brilliance of the first shit he came out with.
Right.
Like, his shit is catching up to his greatness. He's turning into fucking Weezer and Our Lady Peace before our eyes. Look, the production is actually pretty up my alley. It's dark. It's ominous. There's synth waviness in there. The content is so fucking bad. He is so out of touch. The content is so empty. Mm-hmm. This is so fucking soulless. Look, here's the thing. We live in a world where there's a billion tweets a day and a 24-hour news cycle. And Kanye probably has a million yes men.
Sure.
Telling him that everything he does is great. Right. But what's even worse to me is Kanye. So many people talk so much shit about Kanye that he probably reads every day that it doesn't. Now he's numb to it.
Sure.
So there is literally no way that he can hear a critique that he's going to
take in,
listen to, that he's going to take in. I think he's officially lost because, dude, this sucks. This fucking sucks. And then there is just the part that I kind of, for me personally, and I'm not saying anybody else has to be like this, and it's not a glorification thing or like a self whatever. The dude has a massive platform and he chooses to say terrible shit on it. So I don't fucking like the guy. But that doesn't even, the music, this album fucking sucks to me.
Yeah.
It sucks. Evil, well, what did you think about it?
Take everything else away from it. Just the vibe of the music is so melancholy. I just can't.
Way outside of the Stanton Triangle.
Yeah.
Except for the swagger, except for the I can fucking do anything.
But it's blunted. It's like muted on this. The swagger doesn't swag.
I mean, he talks a lot about fucking them bitches.
He does.
He talks about it, but it's not. I don't think it's as incomplete as the previous album we reviewed.
What was that? Donda 2?
But that album
or
had
Donda
like
1?
good.
We might not have done Donda 2. I don't remember.
I don't think we did. Donda
Donda.
part 1.
Donda. That's how we'll fill the rest of the 6 minutes.
had moments on it where I was like, there are glimpses of the
Agreed.
genius. I don't know if there's anything like that on here.
There are a couple lyrics where I was just like, that feels like old Kanye, but 95% of it.
When you're rapping 3,000 lines in an album, you're going to fucking,
See, he wasn't even though, because it was so mellow. I feel like the lyrical, like word count was probably down like a third or half of
you're probably right.
Album.
You're probably right. Luckily, we're out of time. Evil.
Damn.
Well,
Sorry,
I
go
did
ahead.
ask Megan a week or so ago if I should start dressing like Bianca Censori. She said no. But I thought it would be fun. Just like saran wrap around my waist, my junk's all squished like up against the shower.
What is a good
glass shower door?
Okay, this is an interesting question for me because somebody that's removed from a music podcast that isn't forced to listen to shit. And Megan has, she seems to be a good person with a compass and a good moral code.
Yeah.
She's better than all of us.
What does she think about Kanye?
Being like rooted in the profession of mental health, she's gonna speak very deftly around things.
Yeah.
Probably not a huge fan. She's fascinated by him.
Oh, well, aren't we all? I mean, we're fucking reviewing this. So,
Yeah.
I think she views him as a really interesting case study.
I mean, that's very true. That's very true.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Rachel, best song and review.
Head so good, she honor roll. Ride the dick like the carnival.
It's thoughtful. It's provoking.
Thoughtful. See, that is those are Kanye
deep.
lyrics. That's what
That's
I
deep.
love that.
She said it was deep.
She did say that.
She just wanna
I'm gonna go
swallow
with a
shit.
-2.
Yeah.
Negative too. Wow.
That's a good one.
Wow.
-2. If you didn't hear the negative, it's -2. Cheers.
2 thumbs down for Rachel, who is drinking, and it is alcohol. Rachel.
It was alcohol.
Oh. Good job guessing, Evil. I gave it 2 thumbs down as well. I think it sucks really bad. And I don't, somebody like this, I don't want to give the benefit of the doubt.
No, not anymore.
I'm not touching the mental health thing. I guess Paperwork is the best song. I don't care. 2 thumbs down. Evil, what did you think?
It's not good. Burn is the closest thing to like previous good Kanye that I could kind of find. Like it was the only one that I'm like, this is a little more upbeat. A thumb down.
Just one? You have 2 thumbs.
I'm just gonna do one.
Okay.
I have hope for him. I'm gonna
I mean,
hold
we
a
all
thumb.
want to have hope for him.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm gonna hold out a thumb and hope.
David, you used to love him.
I did. I used to love him.
Yeah.
But as Axl Rose said, I used to love him, but I had to kill him. Let's move on to album number 4. We've got Neon Pill by Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant. How about that? They're still a band. Neon Pill. I saw them open for Beck with Spoon, and they were fucking spectacular. They were one of those, went to a show for somebody else, completely blown away by these guys. They were great. Until that show, I only knew them for that Ain't No Rest for the Wicked song, which is a fucking amazing song, but I didn't think too much of it. This came out in May through RCA. It is produced by John Hill. He's a Grammy dude. He's done a shit ton of people. Which kind of surprised me. I struggled with this one a lot. And I will preface this by saying that this album is not great. This album is not bad, But there is a huge emptiness in this. Let's see. Let me look at like Silent Picture is a good song. Float in the Sky is a good song. Good hooks. Like Neon Pill has a really good hook. Silent Pictures, it has a catchy chorus, but these songs are like fucking hollow. There's something huge missing here. What I like even less is that this sounds like such a fucking copy of the bands that are done, like the 2000s, like Hardfi and Kasabian and these really cool like British bands that came after like the Arctic Monkeys and Blur, and we're doing that kind of British twangy reverb guitar and the kind of nasally higher voice. But this isn't a song like Hi-Fi is annoying as fuck. Some of this is really annoying. And it's all stuff to me that other bands like Arctic Monkeys or the Constellations have done way the fuck better than this. Evil, what did you think about this album?
This group of gentlemen who are part of this band are like, they would be the first ones to die in war. And I don't like that. And it shows in the music.
They're the guys in that one Amelie movie where they all are like trying to shoot their fingers off and stuff so they can go home.
It's a band of the guys in Saving Private Ryan who waited on the stairs while the buddy gets stabbed in the chest. And then the German guy walks down and looks at him and you're like, you're not even worth killing. Like I said, I listened to all of this music and I hated all of it.
You know what's really, I want you to finish. You know what's really funny is one of my last notes. You know what I said?
What?
I know a lot of people like Cage the Elephant and I like them too, but this is what I said about this album. I think I hate the people whose type of music this is their favorite, which is very similar to what you said.
Sure.
Sure. 100%. I listened to everything and then I went back and some of it, I'm like, okay, there's depth here. Like St. Vincent, I'm like, okay, there's more stuff here.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's like this is okay music, but I'm like, try harder. Like do something.
Something. Fucking try harder. Put your soul on the fucking record. Don't just write.
Put some passion into it.
Yes. Rachel, what did you think?
Yeah. Nah. So I didn't like this very much. And then I thought, maybe I'm being judgmental. So I looked at what other people thought, and other people thought, this sucks. It was really boring and lazy.
Dude, Hi-Fi, that fucking like turning around.
Yeah.
Fucking shit. That is it. Like, who in the fucking world is going to listen to that and like it? Come on.
It was really safe and boring, and after their last album came out 5 years ago, so people were like, yay, we're excited for a new album, and then put out this garbage. And the guy John Hill, the guy that produced this, also has worked with Eminem and Rihanna and like put good exciting music out, and this is just boring as shit.
I'd rather watch videos of elephants in captivity turning on their trainers than listen to this again.
Well, that's fair. Okay,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say like Thomas Edison electrocuting.
No. Like when the elephant is done with the bullshit and they just decide to fold their trainer into a ball with their feet.
That makes
like
me
go watch Blackfish.
Weirdly happy.
Yeah.
I love those videos.
Yeah. I said the best song is Good Time. That is the only song on that album that is kind of old school Cage the Elephant. That is the kind of stuff they should be making. Like the carefree, swaggery, like, who wrote Cold Beverage? What's the band I'm trying to think of? What the fuck is that band? G-Love and the Special Sauce.
It's G-Love and the Special Sauce, David.
Thank you. That sort of thing. I gave it no thumbs. I don't care. I don't care enough to give this any thumbs. Evil?
Thumbless.
He's thumbless. He's thumbless.
Did you like any of
Much
the songs?
like a guy that shot his own thumb off to get out of the war.
Elephants don't have thumbs, and they can crush stuff with those feet.
That's true.
Uncage the elephant, please.
Rachel, what did you think?
No thumbs. Neon Pill, I said for the favorite song, but favorite is just a really subjective word.
Neon Pill's it's an okay song.
It's
it
fine.
is. Extremely unimpressed so far. What does Rachel have? That's alcohol. Nope. Yes. Yeah. It's alcohol.
Or she acting.
Jimmy wins. It was Sprite.
Fuck. All right, Evil, let's go to you with Taylor Swift's. What did I write? Let me find it.
God.
Tortured Billionaire Sad Society Go Chief, sponsored by Jet Fuel. Go ahead, Evil.
You're an idiot.
I checked the outline and I didn't see that part. I just saw Taylor Swift. I'm like, fuck. And when I went back and actually read it, I was like, that's genius. That was so funny. It made me laugh. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The Tortured Poets Department, specifically anthology version, is what you did to us.
Yeah.
A little over 2 hours. You're welcome.
Released April 19th, 2024. Do I have to?
Yeah.
It's Taylor Swift. It's her 11th studio album.
I'm ready. I'm
So
excited
much
for this.
sighing from the old man.
I don't wear makeup. I don't belong to a book club. I don't get wine drunk with the girls and make out with strangers on ladies' night. I don't wear Uggs. I don't enjoy pumpkin spice lattes in the fall. I don't consider Lululemon leggings to be business casual. And I certainly don't fucking make a habit of listening to 2+ hours of fucking Taylor Swift. I skimmed this. I didn't listen to it. I don't care.
You know who else
Next.
doesn't do any of that shit? Taylor Swift.
I feel like you should write a review and post it
I would like it.
on the internet. I thought you were reading a review.
No, that's just, I don't.
That's fine.
You tried Midnights. Did you try this one?
I listen. I'm like, this sounds like Taylor Swift. That's it.
It does.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't. I just don't have the time for this. I'm not the demographic. Never have been. Never was going to be.
Rachel.
There's no reason for
Rachel, who is the demographic?
Me.
What did you think?
I'm the demographic. Okay, I'm going to read you a quote. When you sent this outline, not the outline, but these are the 10 albums. What do you guys think? I can't find the quote, and that's fine. But it was something to the point of my response is, if I have to listen to that Taylor Swift album again, I'm going to throw myself off a building. And then I opened the outline and I was like, God damn it.
Well.
As somebody who has recently gone under major surgery and can only do so many things with her life, I've been on Instagram a lot lately, and every video is like the background music is some fucking Taylor Swift song. And I love Taylor Swift so much. I think she's great. I think she's very talented. However, you love your kids, but you don't want to hang out with your kids 24/7. That's how I feel about Taylor Swift right now. Like I need a break. That being said, I think there's 31 songs on this album. You could make it 15 songs and call it a day. There are a lot of songs in here that could have been vault songs that are fine songs as far as Taylor Swift goes, but don't need to be on this album. Nobody needs to release an album that is 2 hours long, that is 31 songs long.
Well, you got to make that money. You got to get that Spotify listens.
How many different
Variations?
Vinyl variations will
fucking
there be of
know.
this?
There's already 4, I think, and collectors have to buy them all because as the brilliant business person she is, there's like one different song on each variation or something like that.
Yeah.
And what she does is she goes on to her Instagram. She's like, guys, this edition is coming out tonight and it's only on sale for like 72 hours.
Sure.
So people flip out and they're like, I have to fucking buy. Like,
yeah.
She is connivingly brilliant in all the worst ways.
Kind of like that about her, actually.
She's a fucking billionaire for a reason.
Yeah.
I did not feel right doing this review because of how biased I am, because of how much I fucking hate this woman.
Why'd you put it on the outline?
Hey, it's still it's the biggest album that had come out. I'm still have to
Sure.
do something with
Okay.
it. So what I did is I sat down and I had my daughter help me review this album.
I love this.
This could go one of two ways.
She's
honest, that one.
Yes. This is me saying that this is very 80s synth, which doesn't seem to when it's Taylor Swift, it feels like it's forced. I highly doubt that she was ever a functioning alcoholic, very highly. Caroline, this has good beats and Taylor Swift sings good in it. This is me. She has a song about her boyfriend leaving his typewriter in her house. My God, that is the worst line I've ever heard. This is Caroline, but listen to how good that beat is. This is me. Her friends all smell like weed or little babies. That's actually kind of a good line. I kind of like that. But I don't believe this at all. To Caroline, who says the lyrics don't make sense, but this song has a good beat. She likes how Taylor Swift explains how she likes the people that she's talking about. She thinks that she does a very good job of that. I never realized how repetitive Taylor Swift's syncopation is.
Yeah.
She sings the exact same way. Nana, tana, nana, mana. She's kind of like a rapper that does the same fucking thing every time. I didn't realize that. To which Caroline said, not true. And
She knows.
and then the last thing I said was, or how about the part in the album where Florence comes on from Florence the Machine and blows Taylor Swift off the fucking track? Mm-hmm. To which Caroline once again said, that's not true. Caroline's favorite song, But Daddy, I Love Him.
Of course it is.
It's gonna be a fun time raising her. and that's my review of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Evil. What did you give it?
I abstain. There was some, I actually listened, I skimmed.
Sure.
There was some line about a tattooed golden retriever. I was going to capture the whole thing. I'm like, I just don't fucking care.
Heard that line.
I looked at reviews and people are like, it's
Brilliant.
lyrically clever.
It
and
is.
I'm just like, I'm out. Fucking out. I'm out. I can't.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
We live in fucking bizarro land and it does not make sense. So
It's
no
the same
thumbs.
thing.
Not
There's
zero
no
thumbs.
Fucking
No
soul
thumbs.
in this album. There's no like
divide by zero thumbs. It does. My brain explodes.
go into the fucking studio and break yourself for the album. People like nobody does it anymore. She did this during
If I was
her
gonna-
fucking Eras tour. Rachel,
David.
best song in Thumbs.
We should have put this at the end, man. I can't work after
Are
this.
you mad?
I need some alcohol. Hopefully this is it. Let's find out.
Hey, it's the greatest karma ever because my daughter is a massive, staunch Taylor Swift defender.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate that.
Taylor Swift
Yeah.
offender.
That was not alcohol.
Someday,
that
I
was
hope
that
so.
was brisk.
nothing's
Brisk.
over. Just get me something to drink.
I love it.
Ugh, we're so old.
We are.
The way I listened to this album, the first time I listened to it on April 19th, was by pulling up the lyrics and just listening to it straight through. And I do have to say there's a little bit of fatigue lyrically because everything is meant to be so thoughtful and so like she doesn't not think about a lyric. Whether or not you like the lyrics or not, there's a lot of work put into every single line. And so in that way, it gets a little fatiguing. I said, I hate it here. That's funny. Was my favorite song. And I say that because it was the least like all the other songs on this album. And I feel like it stood out as something a little different that she does. She plays with tempo.
It's the 23rd song
Yeah.
on the album.
Yeah. There's the whole first album is just all, like I said, all over Instagram. And I'm just fucking over hearing all of those songs. So the second half is where I spent my time. As far as thumbs, I gave it 2 thumbs because fuck you guys. I knew I needed to.
Come on. Really?
If this was edited down to 15 songs or 17 songs,
It would be the same fucking album as Midnight's.
No, it's a
so
little
bad.
angrier. I like it.
Now I want to give it 2 thumbs down just to even this shit out, but I won't.
Do
'cause
whatever
I'm
you
above
want,
that.
David.
Can't, like,
This is your podcast.
Hey, that's 5 albums, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Sun would set, we would come alive.
We are back. Let's get to album number 6. Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft. Rachel.
Billie Eilish, 3rd studio album. This was released on my dad's birthday, Gus, the 17th of May, 2024, on Interscope. This debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. All 10 songs charted in the top 40 of the Billboard Billboard Hot 100 songs. People fucking love this. It's got an 89
They
on
love her. That's
89
for
on
goddamn
Metacritic.
sure.
Everybody that reviewed it, for the most part, gave it 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. This album is great. I listened to this album before it was on our list because I was very excited about it, and I have a teenage niece that loves Billie Eilish. again, this is another album that I will probably get a little tired of hearing the slapping beats on it eventually, because a lot of the songs are getting a little overused on the TikToks and the Instagrams. But I think this is a great evolution for her. It still sounds very much like Billie Eilish that we know and love, but you can tell that she's refining her craft. Her vocals are getting better, and she's just maturing. I really, really liked this album.
I agree with parts of that. I hated this on the first 2 listens. It did grow on me. I guess it's like a settings album. You just have to be in the right mood, in the right place at the right time for this. I am bored with the shtick, and it's not a shtick. It's just it's her style.
Yeah,
fine, and she's amazingly talented, and I really like that her and her brother have their thing, but she's not. I don't hear the strides. I don't hear the steps that she's trying to take to branch out as an artist, which I don't, why would you when it's working? What you're doing is working. But Bittersweet, the song Bittersweet, the song Skinny, although in Skinny has that like brilliant Gibson jazz guitar that's, oh my God, it sounds amazing. But like do something new, or if you're not going to do something new, like do something not boring. Or like the song The Diner. She's written The Diner like 20 times now.
Yeah.
She's written that song so many fucking times. Birds of a Feather is just like the type of song that we said about Maggie Rogers, that it's like that pop song structure that's rewritten 3 times a year.
Sure.
I'm listening. It's in my ears right now, and it sounds exactly like that Hold Me Now 80s song or Blank Page by Taylor Swift. Like it's been written so many fucking times. It's like a 10 Things I Hate About You soundtrack song. Look, I like Billie Eilish, and I do agree with you that there is a maturity coming, and her voice is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. But fuck, man, I won't listen to this again. Evil, what about you?
I have to. I'm a captive audience.
Yep.
There are people in my household who
Yes.
love this, and so I also love this.
Yep.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if those are my own opinions. I'm glad that this is the music that I have to like versus some other bullshit, because this isn't that bad, so I can deal with it. And it's pretty catchy, and it's unoffensive, and I'm good with it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Rachel, what's the best song, and how many thumbs did you give it?
I picked a very easy best song, and that is Lunch, because it slaps so hard. Also,
Evil agreed.
L'amour de ma vie was also very jazzy, and I feel like showed off her vocal ability. Thumbs, all of them. This was great. I think like
Cool.
she's put out 3 albums in 5 years, and that's pretty fast. I think she's going at a slower speed than a lot of people would like, but I still think she is evolving. It's just barely turning up each album, and really kind of hardly noticeable.
I mean, I still like her first album way more than any other stuff she's come out with. So I just don't know about it. Same thing as all the other. I gave it no thumbs. I don't care. Give me something to remember, please. That might have been liquor. I think maybe Rachel.
I think that was bourbon.
Yeah.
That was Buffalo Trace. Oh God.
What? You make that face with Buffalo Trace?
You have Buffalo Trace? Why?
I have a husband.
He drinks bourbon?
Apparently.
You said he drinks like fucking Rattlers. He drinks like Rattlers.
Yeah. But we have, half of the hard alcohol has alcohol.
I said the best song is L'amour de ma vie. That song is amazingly beautiful. It is a beautiful song. And I do agree. I think her voice is gorgeous in this. But I don't like her last 2 albums. I shouldn't say that. I think that her earlier attempts are way better than her last 2 albums.
I do think there were a lot more creative bits in the first album than have been in these ones. This second 2. I do think the second 2.
And I'm probably harder on some of these albums because of how fucking popular they are. My God. Everybody has decided that this is the shit, and I just don't get it.
I also feel like in this case, yeah, that's true. You know how talented she is, and her and Phineas together are. Mm-hmm. And so when it doesn't like blow you away, you're kind of going to judge it a little more harshly, because you're like, you can do better, and I know you can do better. She's
also super young. And you can tell from some of the lyrics that she's super young.
Oh, sure.
Evil, thumbs, and best song.
I also picked Lunch. I like that delayed synth thing that happens towards the end of the song. That's fun. That's like, it's just catchy. It's a good song. I'm going to give 1 thumb up because I have to, but also I kind of want to.
Shot. When we reviewed Billie Eilish's last album, I said that I don't like the album, but I love her, and I still feel the same way.
Feel the same way.
Let's go to album number 7, Vampire Weekend's Only God Was Above Us. This is their 5th studio album. This was recorded through Columbia Records, produced by a couple different people, and it is their first album since 2019's Father of the Bride. Vampire Weekend is one of those bands that has a bit of a cult following. They are well known in the indie scene to either be loved or not hated, but people either really don't like them or they really, really like them. That is the Vampire Weekend thing. Typically, I don't like Vampire Weekend. They've just never been my thing. This album reminds me a lot of the Sufjan Stevens album from last year, except maybe a little calmer. This one's a little calmer. I loved that Sufjan Stevens album last year. There are songs I like. The start, it's extremely Flaming Lips. It's like right out of the Flaming Lips storybook, like the ice cream song. I think the musicality is amazing. I think the production is fantastic. I think Evil probably hates this album. I think it's a spectacular album that just doesn't hit me. It just doesn't. There's stuff like Gen X Cops that feels like a newer Strokes or an older Arctic Monkeys. It kind of gets in their own way. Like it's trying to be too much of something. When you're that polished and all of a sudden you have this clumsy guitar solo, it's so forced that it just doesn't feel right. Purposely clumsy is not, that's what I wrote, and I don't like it. I want to love, it's a lot like what I said about one of the other fucking albums that I don't remember. I want to love these songs, but there's something in them missing that is just keeping me from loving them. There's upright bass in it, which I'm a sucker for. And the last thing I'll say is the music is incredibly specific. There's songs like Surfer Connect that if I heard them in a cocktail lounge, I'd love it. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? This is rad. Oh, no. Actually, the last thing I'm going to say is there is zero fucking lyrical fluctuation in this. Change your fucking tone and how loud, quiet, or the note you're singing once, please. And I will probably like it a little more. His voice is a Evil. What do you have?
If ever there was a case for testosterone replacement therapy for guys who aren't old enough to take it yet, it's here. Because the talent is there, the musicianship is there, everything's there, but there's no fucking balls in this music. If it had balls, it would rock. It has no balls.
Jeez.
Because of that, I judge them more harshly than I do the Cage the Elephant album, because I'm like, you guys, this band is, I feel like they're capable of some really cool shit. It's just they're squandering their talent in fuckery. I'm like, you need like a shot of like 100 proof something with Tabasco in it. Like do something. Do something with that. Do something. They also will be first to die in war, but they don't have to. They could actually pick up the guns and fight, but they choose not to.
They're probably really good snipers.
Yeah.
Rachel, what did you think?
Sorry.
I didn't care about this album at all. I did, however, get on a really fun rabbit trail about the title of this album. Did anyone read on that?
No.
So this was
with the prominent no. No, fuck you for asking.
No. I love, if I don't like an album, I get very distracted. And I got very distracted when I was reading this one.
This is an easily distractible album for sure.
Yeah. Only God Was Above Us was a quote from an airline passenger on Aloha Airlines flight 243 in 1988. Part of the top of the plane just like popped off after the plane took off, and one of the flight attendants was thrown, but everybody else survived, 94 out of 95 people. And that's where the title of this song came from, or
that
this
sounds
album came
fun.
from. So that's how I feel about that album. That's what I care about.
I gave it one thumb up, actually. I think that there is actually a lot of amazing work in this album. Like we talked about with St. Vincent, there's a lot of intricacies with some amazing like harmonies and backup vocals and really cool drum and synth work that they're adding into here that I think is great. But I struggled with this. And this is one of those albums that I will probably go back to in a half year and be like, that might have been good. An example would be the song Classical. That is the song on this that they're showing how good they could be. So yeah, I gave them a thumb up. Good try. Evil, loved it.
I picked Hope as...
Hope's that was the other one on it that I thought was really good.
I barely listened to it. As in, I hope that I don't have to listen to this again. I hope that these guys like get in the gym and lift some fucking weights, eat a steak, get jacked and tan, and like make some music that actually is doing something.
That's a good segue.
Thumbs 0. Like I said, I feel like maybe there is hope for this band. I don't know. I doubt it. They're fucking talented. For fans of this band, we're probably not going to be friends. But
you can tell that they are, though.
They are very talented. Yeah.
Rachel, thumbs and favorite song?
I'm going to just refrain from the thumbs, I think. As far as songs, I just said Connect. It had some really beautiful piano work in it.
It definitely did.
So that's where my thoughts are.
That is Vampire Weekend. I'm pretty sure we pissed some people off. Oh well. As I've been saying this whole episode, get the fucking back into the studio. As Evil's saying, get the fuck into the gym. And with that,
sneak them some steroids. Get them on a fucking D-ball or like some sort of stack.
But it's a good segue because now we get into our next album of guys that have been in the gym so long that they don't even know what the fuck they're doing anymore. It is Cometh the Storm by High on Fire.
It's the ninth studio album by High on Fire, released April 19th of 2024. For those of you who don't understand what High on Fire is, it is like the most sludgiest, riffiest metal that you can find. It's like wall of sound, obtuse wall of sound, to the point to where I have to be in the right mood to listen to it wall of sound, but I do like it. Matt Pike, if you are familiar with the band Sleep, very seminal sludge rock metal band. This is his. I like it, but...
Are you serious?
Am I serious? What do you mean?
I did not know that. The way that I end this, I'm just going to say it now. This is like if Henry Rollins and Lemmy had a baby and let Matt Pike play guitar for them. I did not know Matt Pike was in this band.
He's the guitar and vocals.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Good read, David.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Evil.
I love heavy, sludgy, riffy metal. These High on Fire, I generally like. They're not one of my favorites, never have been one of my all-time favorites. And part of it is how impenetrable the guitar is. I like some mids to cut through a little bit, and this just the frequency is just like cranked 11 across the board. I'm like, I do like this. I like this album, but like I said, I have to be in the right mood to listen to it. It's varied. I like the kind of like Middle Eastern-y, Turkish sort of influence in some of the tracks. This is an album that I will go back and listen to more for sure. Here's my problem, and this is my problem with the entire group of music. I'll pause and then go listen to shit that I want to listen to, including like new music. It's just better.
Yeah.
I will come back to this when I'm in the right mood for it, and it's going to fucking melt my face, and I'll love it. But it's a sometimes food for me, even in being the metalhead that I am.
I was also I'm like, I think when I think of High on Fire, I think of like Electric Messiah, and I just feel like nothing's gonna live up to that. So I just like was like, fuck this, I don't want to listen to it.
Whose review are you stealing from right now?
Honestly, I just saw that won a Grammy, and I was like, must have been good.
It wasn't one of my favorites, to be honest.
Really? They won Best Metal Performance.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. They won a Grammy?
Grammys don't
Must
count.
be great.
I didn't really dig into this one too much. It all sounds metal.
Give Snakes for the Divide a listen. It's right up your alley.
I was gonna say there's a lot of metal that Evil has introduced me to that I am a fan of and would listen to again. This is not. No. This is not that.
Okay. I will say this. Parts of this album made it one of the better albums on the list, I think. But I have been saying the same thing about all these other bands. And if we're going to be a dick to these indie bands for being I'm going to be a dick to these guys for being fucking troglodytes. And this shit is so fucking basic. And I get that it's metal and I get that it's loud and I get the wall of sound and it's fucking catchy. This is the type of metal that I should like. I love this guy's voice. I love these fucking guitars. They're fucking rad. And I love, like, Sleep's last album it didn't come out Sleep's last album was a long time ago, right? Like 6 years or 8 years or something like that.
Something out more recently, but yeah.
This shit, like songs like Beating and Lightning Beard, like I don't know why we let fucking metal people do this, but I like those because they're going like full Motorhead on songs like that, and I really I dig that stuff. But it's ba ba ba. Ba 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 for 3 minutes. Yeah. And it's like, dude, fucking what are we doing? And what you were saying about the Turkish stuff, I hated it. I thought it was so boring. Like, it's supposed to be this like Middle Eastern transcendental experience, and it's frustrating because I could see liking this band because of the tones and his voice that I love. I'll say it like this: just because you're louder doesn't mean you're less boring. And that was how I felt about this album.
That's fair.
Evil. Best song and thumbs.
I'm glad that you mentioned Lightning Beard because I like this style of music with a little bit of thrash, with a little bit of speed, a little bit of urgency. Huge fan of The Sword, the first like 3, maybe 4 albums, because they got shit for sounding too much like Sleep or sounding too much like these guys. But
I don't think they sound very much like Sleep, personally. Like, I mean, I get it, but I don't like. I didn't make the connection.
I feel the same, and I think why I like that like early era of The Sword is because like I like the speed, I like the urgency, I like that infused into it. It makes it more interesting to me, and that's like Lightning Beard is a version of that. Burning Down is the track, and I didn't like it at first, but after listening to the album a few times, that's the one that stuck out to me. Is I would put this on a playlist. It's like a fucking sledgehammer of a song, but. I'm giving them 1.5 thumbs up. Like I said, they will always be on my radar.
Wow.
I could have easily lowered that to a 1 thumb depending on my mood. Like this is not an all the time food for me.
I also went with Burning Down. That was not good. That was Freedom Fusion Mountain Dew. Ooh. That was for Evil. Because it had a flag on it.
For fusion? Is that
Freedom
real?
Fusion.
Easy.
There's a trio of Mountain Dews that are out right now that are red, white, and blue. Burning Down, and I gave it 1 thumb because Matt Pike is like 60 years old, and it's just impressive.
All right, sympathy thumb.
So,
give that old man the thumb, motherfuckers. I said "Cometh the Storm." I think that's an amazing song. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
My last line, that song is like Henry Rollins and Lemmy had a baby and let Matt Pike play guitar with him.
Yep.
Well, that's exactly what it was.
And sing for him.
I said no thumbs. I don't care. Same thing as the other ones. Like, do something different. Go into the studio and put your heart out. Let's go. 2 albums left. Album number 9. We're trying this again. It is Audio Vertigo by Elbow. All right, why do I say that we're trying this again? This is one of my huge I love this bands, and I knew it. Bringing it to you for the first time, so I want to see what you think. Rachel,
I feel like this is gonna be another one of those things where you're like, this isn't them.
You gotta go listen to
the last one.
Yes.
Elbow, Auto Vertigo. This was released on the 22nd of March 2024 on Polydor Records. This was the 10th studio album by Elbow. Critics loved this.
Did they?
86 on Metacritic.
Cool.
4th #1 album in the UK. People were fans. Also, Trevor, fucking loves this band. And he listened to it, he's like, oh, that album rules. And that's why I picked it for you. He's like, this rules. I hope you like it. And so I had this
So has he been an Elbow fan?
I think so.
Oh, cool.
Because he was excited to listen to this one.
He's
So
the other
means
American that
he's-
listen to him besides me.
He's the one other person. It's just the two of you. I myself, it was fine, but it was forgettable. And I don't know if that's because I need to listen to it again or if it's just like kind of okay music for me. I appreciated all the things that you like with the synth stuff, and vocals were great. But as far for me, is this was background, and this was background that blended into the background and into each other.
I can definitely see it. There is a shit ton to like about this album. These songs are really funky, and they're but they're different. They have a really weird vibe, and every song brings something different to the table. But like I said earlier, with like Maggie Rogers, I like that it is a band and a producer and one conceptualization.
Right.
The brass work in this album is fucking amazing. It's like 70s brass. I think it's fantastic. I think the rhythm section's great on every single song. I do think it's weird. Starting an album with Things I've Been Telling Myself for Years, that's a weird fucking song to start an album with. That's going to throw everybody off.
Yeah.
I like it musically and lyrically, but like, I just don't know. I don't think it's a good starter. I think songs like Lover's Leap that have the harmony and the timpani and the Brazilian kind of Radiohead funk drums. It's kind of like Radiohead, but replace the depression with like pot, I guess. It's just a tight, talented band that's been doing this for a long time. I hear a lot of, like I said, 70s slow funk.
Yeah.
Even though I can definitely see where people would find this boring, I think that there are great fucking Mark Knopfler style Peter Gabriel stuff in here that I think is fantastic. I liked it. I don't think it's their best work, but I liked it. Let's get to Evil. Evil, what did you think?
This is the soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist that I really, really, really want to see.
Okay.
It is very interesting. Much like everything else on this list, I fucking was like, skip. First listen. When I went back to it, second under the St. Vincent album, this is the most interesting one to me. There's stuff.
I thought you were both going to fucking hate this album.
Oh, no, there's meat on the bones here that I didn't see on the first pass. And it's fun. It's quirky. It's very soundtracky. It's very like soundscapey.
Yes.
And I like that about it. It's quirky. That's an interesting take on music for me. The horns drew me in. I think that might be part of the soundtrackiness to me.
They're
the
fucking
synth,
great.
It's fucking fun. From start to finish, it's a little laid back.
I think it's very top heavy. Very top heavy.
Yeah.
I think once you get past song like 5 or 6, you do start to be like, wait, what? You're
floating out there in the ocean a little bit, but I'm not going to dock him too much for it because it's very creative. Very creative.
I wish I could. There is one song, and I don't remember which song it is, but I said it was Stevie Wonder and Peter Gabriel. Which, if you're doing a combo like that, Her to the Earth, you're doing something right if you're coming up with shit that's those two bands together.
Peter Gabriel was a note that I had on that song.
It's so Peter.
Yep.
So Rachel loves it. I said the best song is... She does. I said the best song is Blue. I think it's the kind of by far the best song on any of these albums. That song fucking wrecks, dude. That song, I can't stop listening to it. And I gave it 2 thumbs up. This is like their 4th best album for me. But I think same with St. Vincent. Goddamn, it was a breath of fresh air for me with all this other stuff going on. Evil's friend, Rachel?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Rachel,
yes,
what did you
Rachel.
think?
I said Where Is It was my favorite song. That one just hit.
That's good too.
But my second favorite, I said Blue as well. As far as thumbs, I gave it 1 thumb. I don't get it, but it's not bad.
Also Baloo, that's a fucking jam. Those chimey synths. Like the horns sucked me in. I think that's the song where I'm like, oh, yeah. I think that's the track where I'm like, these guys are actually good. I have to listen to this one for real. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a 1 point. I can't give it a 1.5.
You can do whatever you want. This is your podcast.
I'll give this also 1. It's on par with St. Vincent. I think I probably should give both of those a 1.25.
I gave it a 1.25. Just kidding.
So wait, are you changing yours to 1?
Can I
Yes,
change my St. Vincent and this one both to 1.25? Because I think they're High and Fire, obviously a metal. I'm fucking meathead. But those two albums are more interesting to me than the High and Fire. I'm not going to listen to them as much, but they're more interesting to me.
All right, guys, last band of the night. Should we piss some motherfuckers off? Let's talk about Dark Matter by Pearl Jam. That's right. You see, a long time ago, Mother Love Bone broke up, and this band took over, and apparently they're popular. I don't know. Oh, no. Dark Matter, the 12th studio album by your Seattle's own Pearl Jam. This was recorded in Malibu, California, so not Seattle. And, you know, Pearl Jam hangs out in San Diego anyway, so they're not really a Seattle band, yet we call them that. Whatever. It is Monkey Wrench label, and with Republic, it is produced by the Andrew Watt. This album has gotten very good reviews. People saying that it's, you know, the heaviest they've had and whatever, and it's whatever, and it's Pearl Jam, so it's whatever. This is weird fucking Coldplay Foo Fighter wannabe. There's parts of it fucking rock, like React Respond and Dark Matter. Running, there's jams on this, and Pearl Jam is best when they're generic angst to me, when they're like old school State of Love and Trust type stuff. Waiting for Stevie is a good anthem, something special. Gotta Give are fine, but it's like, to me, Foo Fighters is generic rock now, but they're good at it, and I like it, and I want to hear it. This is generic rock that I'm just not into it. The last good album that Pearl Jam had over the last like 20, 25 years was Backspacer. And this is just a worse version of that to me. I kept listening to it, trying to like it. I think I just don't like Pearl Jam like at all, you know? And now that I've pissed everybody off, no, you know what? I'll add something else to that. Why do we give Taylor Swift such a hard fucking time when bands like this get to come out with 30 fucking variations of their fucking album? And Pearl Jam, the I Fought Ticketmaster, they're still using fucking Ticketmaster. And you can go to London to see them play like this weekend if you have $300 for a ticket and whatever else. Like, why do we not give these guys shit when they're just as bad?
Are they just as bad?
No.
They're not as
they're
bad.
Not. But they would.
I mean, they're bad.
They would be if they could be as popular. If they were as popular,
sure,
they would take the money.
I feel like most people would be.
I don't think this album is very good. I don't see it. And you Pearl Jam, I know a lot of Pearl Jam lovers listen to this. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where this is fucking special. I don't even think Pearl Jam is that influential, but there are other bands like Royal Blood that are doing what is done in this album way better. Maybe they're standing on the shoulders of Pearl Jam, but maybe Pearl Jam just step aside and let the better people do it now. Evil, what are your thoughts on Dark Matter?
I love that sigh. Mm-hmm. That something good's coming.
Rock music is very different from metal. They're cousins or maybe even siblings. One of the main differences is in metal, it's okay and kind of cool to be an old guy who's a metalhead and a metal performer, and your defining characteristic is metal. Rock it's a genre for youth and yearning to make it. Like when you actually make it as a rock star, you're fucking over. Because there's nothing left to achieve. There is like a need to strive to fucking make it big.
Do it again. Make it happen again.
This is the problem with like all rock bands who become ultra mega famous, is there's nothing left for them to actually fucking go after.
Yep.
They're stuck with just being musicians.
The only time it works is when they have a massive like drug addiction or alcoholism that they can sing about. That's the only time it works.
Yeah, these songs are good, but there's nothing memorable on it because there's nothing memorable for them to. There's nothing for them to be going after. Once you get there, it's like, what now? What do I do with my hands? Like they just make rock by the numbers. And yeah, maybe it's their heaviest, but I'm not going to remember any of these songs in a year.
Yeah, maybe it's not true, but maybe it's because of their music. But that's telling. Is they strike me as the type that, the reason Foo Fighters work is because they're still fucking rockers. They're still fucking getting wasted before every show, and they're fucking going out partying every night. And Dave Grohl's like, yeah, I drink a bottle of Jaeger before every show. Fuck you. These guys are taking their supplements, and they're probably doing yoga.
Yeah, right.
It's not. Rachel, what did you think about this?
So I liked this album. I'm going to start with that, but then I'm going to Tarantino that with, I very much agree with a lot of what you guys have said. This album, I read a review and it was talking about how this album is kind of akin to like a luxury item in that it's not necessary. It's these guys, it's like The Boy Who Lived. They're the only grunge era band that's still together. 4 of their original members are still alive and still playing the same music.
Which means they weren't rocking hard enough. Yeah.
How many of our grunge era musicians have passed away, and that's what stops the music. And these guys are just continuing to go because they can, because they're not too heavily drug addicted or just ruining their lives or dying off. With that being said, I also don't have anything past the 2000s of reference for Pearl Jam. So I don't really know what mid-2000s, in the 2000s Pearl Jam sounds like. This sounds like a lighter version of what they were in the 90s. And it's not anything exciting. It's not anything bad. It just is. It's just Pearl Jam a little watered down.
They have come out with 6 albums since the year 2000. I think one of those albums are good. That's my personal opinion. I said that React Respond is the best song, but I struggled with it because I don't care. I gave it no thumbs. I don't care about this fucking album. I don't care about most of these fucking albums. I want this year to get better. I want to get fucking pulled in by music again, and it's not happening this year. But one album did that to me this year so far. One fucking album, and the song Baloo, and that's it. No thumbs. Fuck you. Evil. What'd you think?
Late in the album, one song I'm like, I hear a little bit. It's the only song I would put on a playlist. And it would purely be for nostalgia factors, and it's Got to Give.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna give it. Listen, they're fucking talented musicians. 100%. Like they're Pearl Jam.
They've been playing together for 40 years. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5 thumbs up.
Ooh, that's a lot of thumb.
Because I don't hate it. I actually, when I'm listening to it, I enjoy it. But I'm like, if I put this album away and I come back in a year, I'm not going to remember anything from it. There's nothing memorable about it for me.
And not in a good way. Not like you're going to pull it out and be like, oh yeah, that song. No, it's like,
there's nothing for them to prove. They need something to prove.
Rachel, a song and thumbs?
I said Running. It slapped and it gave me some punk vibes. I was into that. And it's a little bit harder than the rest of the stuff on the album that was a little boring.
Yep.
I gave it 1.25 thumbs because I'm being very generous and nice.
All right.
Because I didn't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either. I actually kind of like it, but it's just like there's not.
It's fine. It's the Maggie Rogers thing. It's fine, but to me that's more offensive.
There's no emotion
because you are Pearl Jam.
For me
you need
in it.
Fucking be better. And there is more of that. I have been told so much like this fucking album, man. This fucking album. Just wait.
There's nothing I want to sing along to, like Alive or anything off of, like any fucking song off of Versus.
I'm sure it would be great to see live. That's it, everybody. Those are the 10 albums. Evil, what was your favorite of the batch?
I'm changing my mind.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I wrote down it was the High on Fire album. I shouldn't do that just because you guys both gave it to me. It's the one that I will listen to consistently.
I mean, it's not best, it's favorite.
Yeah.
The St. Vincent and Elbow albums are both very interesting. That doesn't make them my favorite. They're interesting albums.
I like that answer.
So it's my favorite.
I like that answer because it means I won.
Same.
I will go next. My favorite, it's Elbow.
Oh,
I really like that St. Vincent album. I think it's fantastic. I don't think it's fan. I think it's really good. Mm-hmm. I think Elbow is
better.
I have a feeling that in like 2 months, it's one of those albums that like in 2 weeks, I'm like, you know what? This song is rad. And then in 2 more weeks, like, actually, you know what? This song is pretty fucking rad. It feels like that kind of album to me. And Blue is just,
That's a great song.
Blue's
So
going to
good.
be in my top 5 favorite songs of the year.
Yeah.
I can guarantee
song.
it. Rach,
Yes, sir.
favorite album?
I think this is going to come as a big surprise to everyone.
Nope.
Taylor Swift.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
However,
Fucking basic.
Do you even like music?
no,
what's
not really. My however comes with Exposure. I've been listening to that one for almost 3 months. So
Sounds fun.
fuck off.
We have our least best album of the night with 5 thumbs down. Kanye West.
What?
Sorry, man. You suck. The best album of the night with 4.5 thumbs. St. Vincent wins this batch.
Son of a bitch.
I think
knew it.
very deservingly so.
Yeah,
I
I
am
think
very
so.
good with giving her the award.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody, fucking, can we get a good album, please? Like,
Somebody
There's
do something.
not-
Okay, I have hope. There's some good stuff coming up.
I hope so.
Well,
I hope so.
For me, at least.
For you, yeah.
Wait, do you know about The Warning, the band The Warning? All female trio from Mexico, similar to Royal Blood. They have an album coming out.
Oh, okay.
They actually rock.
I'll check it out, maybe. Evil, sorry I made you listen to these, but it'll be all right.
There's some actually okay stuff in there.
Rachel, how are your drinks?
Very alcoholic. I should let Trevor do it next time.
That's what she said. Everybody, that's it.
gets-
Join us next week. Oh, I switched some stuff around. It's just me. I'm just talking. So, yeah, enjoy
Okay.
that. Fuck them. It's all about me. Go listen to a couple of these albums or don't. You will be fine if you never listen to any of this, honestly. Good night and good luck.
Good luck.